Hello everyone, this is an AWS architecture overview video. We're going to talk about the services being used in this application and how they all fit together to build a mobile app with a text-to-speech workflow on the back end that uses AWS Step Functions. So the name of this application is one that's called Read For Me, and the intention of this application is to help folks that have visual impairments or trouble reading or seeing documents on paper or on screens. So the gist of this application is that it's going to allow users to upload images to AWS and as an output receive an audio file that contains a recitation of the text that was on the document. So that's the general flow of what this application is trying to do here. So if we take a quick glance at this, by the way, I have this right side blocked out here, and I'll get to this part a little bit later. It contains the workflow. But if we start over here on the left, we can see that we have a front end. We can see we have users that are interacting through the application with a mobile client. You can also see that this application isn't using native Android or iOS. It is instead using kind of a web view or maybe even React Native with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So our first step is just hosting our front end, and that's using AWS Amplify. So Amplify is a really neat toolkit on AWS that you can use to quickly set up and build mobile and even web applications. It doesn't require a lot of knowledge for you to have on AWS, but it allows you to focus on a lot of the different functionality without having to know what services you need to use behind the scenes. So a lot of people like to use it for these types of use cases where they really want to hit the ground running and really just focus on building their application. So that's what the developers decided to use in this case. Now, the next natural step is to form some kind of authentication or allow users to authenticate with this application. And for this, they're using Amazon Cognito. So Cognito offers a bunch of functionality, one of them being authentication, and it can do that either by letting users create accounts directly within Cognito, so registering for an account within Cognito itself. Alternatively, it allows you to integrate with other social sign-on providers like Google or Facebook or even log in with Amazon. So provided you kind of set all that stuff up, you'll let users be able to sign in or register and sign in rather using these different identity providers. Now, another neat feature that this application uses that is a little bit different is that it uses Cognito identity pools in addition to the traditional user pools. And identity pools are kind of interesting. They allow users to, in addition to authenticate with Cognito, also gain temporary credentials to interact with specific AWS services. So in this case, upon the user logging into Cognito, they're also given the credentials that lets them directly access Amazon S3 in this case. So now the next step is for us to upload images. And instead of the user having to kind of make a request that passes through one of your APIs that uploads to S3, now the user can directly upload into S3 without having to pass through all these additional steps. So a pretty neat feature that this application developer decided to use. So like I said, our next step is number 3 here, which is to store the image files. The user is going to select the image from the mobile client by selecting the image on their phone, and then they're going to upload directly into Amazon S3. The next step is to kind of trigger the workflow or trigger the generation of that audio file that needs to be created. So that's triggered through a HTTP call through Amazon API Gateway. And I guess this is a good opportunity to erase what I have over here on the right. So let me just do that now. So this is where the step function is with all the additional workflow style steps that occur afterwards. So let's just get rid of all of this stuff here. Okay, perfect. So this application is using AWS Step Functions, which are a really neat service from AWS that allows you to perform workflow style operations. So if you need to do things in specific sequences or you need some kind of orchestration layer to basically do a bunch of steps and have like branching logic and if else's and all that stuff, that's what this application is using. Now, over on the left-hand side here, this is where the steps of the workflow are. So each of these arrows here is pointing from one step to another. So the input is basically passing from one to the next. And on the right-hand side here, these are the services that are actually being used. So they're simplifying a lot of the details here. I imagine they have a bunch of Lambda functions like in this workflow itself that's interacting with TextTrack, comprehend, translate, poly, etc. But they're not giving you all the details here. So the first thing that they're doing is they are extracting the text and they're using Amazon TextTrack in order to do that. So Amazon TextTrack, and in fact, all of these services, the ones with this kind of green background here, they are like machine learning style services that AWS offers. Now, these ones are specifically focused on text generation and text interactions, but there's a whole bunch of other ones as well. So the first step is using that Amazon TextTrack service to turn the content that is in the image into human readable text in a machine. And this is an obvious first step. We first need to do this before we can pass it to any of the further ones to generate the audio file and do a bunch of other steps as well. So the next step is to detect key language. And in order to do that, they're using Amazon Comprehend. Now, Comprehend is an NLP or natural language processing service. So it lets users kind of gain key insights from text documents that are uploaded. I think this is kind of an overkill application of this service here, but that's just my opinion. But maybe they're doing something a little bit different that I'm not aware of. Now, the next step where they translate the text, this is useful if the source document is in a language that's other than the type of language that the other person is trying to understand. So if you're going from English to French or French to Spanish or anything like that, this workflow will work in either of those cases. And our next step is to take that translated text, if need be, and then create that final audio. And that's where Amazon Poly comes in, which is a useful service to take an input text and generate an audio file with a kind of computer voice that recites that information. So that's where the audio file is actually be generated. And then finally, they need to store that audio file back into S3 so that they can give it back to the user. Now, another interesting thing that they're doing here with this last step with storing in S3 is that in addition to storing it in S3, they're also generating a pre-signed URL. Now, the pre-signed URL gives users the ability to directly interact with S3 again, similar to what we did kind of over here with Cognito with that identity pool credentials. And then, so they're generating that URL and then they're returning that URL like all the way here back through the API. So this API gateway that's happening over here, it's triggering a step function workflow. And I learned that you can have a synchronous version of a step function invocation. So basically this API will execute, and before the response is returned from step functions, all of these other steps need to run here. So everything here needs to happen and it needs to succeed or fail before the response can flow all the way back and into the API gateway and back to the user in this path here. So it's a pretty interesting feature of step functions. I'm pretty sure they use that, or else you'd have to have some kind of polling mechanism to continuously poke the step functions to see if the result is in, and they don't seem to be doing that. So I assume they must be using synchronous in this case. So that's basically it. After this, that pre-signed URL is returned all the way back to the user over here, and then the user can go into S3 like here and directly interact with it to download that file. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more on AWS architecture, check out this one on the right, and I'll see you next time.